Thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries hotline. You've reached Anthony. Leave a message.
Hey, Beardos. This is Daddy Derek with the Good Beard. Hey, I wanted to touch base with you guys because my name tag hasn't yet arrived in the mail, even though I'm an official remote employee now. I did have a special request, though. Similar to how amusement parks and hotels will put the city that you're from underneath your name, I'd like my name to read Derek with the Good Beard, and I want the tagline underneath to say, Daddy's got it. Also, I wanted to leave a message specifically for Anthony. For the record, my junior year in high school, we led the nation in teenage pregnancies, so I could totally be your daddy. Thanks, and keep up the great work.
And welcome back.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 14 of Beards and Sundries.
Is that Halloween 3, Season of the Witch?
That's
Halloween,
right, Beardos.
14 ween? For ween? Oh.
And we're all just
Whatever.
children wearing J, Joe, and Anthony masks.
Ooh, that's really scary. But, you guys, that means it is time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where three gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry item in each episode.
My name is Jay, and it's almost 2024, so I have to decipher the breakdown of my health benefits package. Ooh.
Ooh, that's scarier than any novel I've ever read.
I was thinking you were going somewhere with like the presidential election, and that actually terrified me for a moment.
Oh, God, please don't remind me.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, I'm Anthony, and so sorry I won't be able to attend that party I know no one else at, but I'm dealing with unimaginable cosmic horrors, also known as existence.
Horrors or horrors?
Both.
Cosmic horrors.
Damn right. And I'm Joe, and whoever created the roll-on applicator for Icy Hot with lidocaine deserves a goddamn Nobel Peace Prize.
God, right? Seriously.
And that means that today's sundry items are things that actually are bigger problems as adults. That's right, Beardos, we're building off of last week a little bit. It's finally our favorite month, October, and what a great topic to kick off Spooky Month. Later on, we have more feedback from Mom. Anthony has created a game for us this week, and we are bringing back some of our Beardos horror or stories. But before we get too far into it, how about this week's voicemail?
Thanks, Daddy. I'm glad you got
You think all that'll fit on a name tag?
I don't know, but we can try. We can
Surely
make the font
make
really
it happen.
small. We
Or
can
the
make
name
the
tag really
long.
big.
Oh, we can get one of those like tack-on things that you used to like get for your name tags when you worked in retail that had a little ribbon that hung down off of it. You know what I'm talking about?
See, and I was
Whatever
thinking
they
kind
make
of
you do.
I was
Yeah.
thinking like a light board that we just have a string on, so he holds it around his neck, and it's like Derek. Blah, 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 blah,
It's-
blah.
What is that headgear that Steve and Francine wear in that one episode of American Dad where they're going to see, what is it, like Billy Joel?
Oh, yeah. And it says Play Uptown Girl, and it's
That's
like
what
a
it
hat
is, yeah.
for both of their heads.
Yeah, it'll just be that, but in lights with all of like Derek with the good beard. Daddy's got it.
Daddy's got it.
But yes, once again, another fantastic voicemail from Derek with the good beard.
Thank you so much. We really like opening with those.
Thank you for fathering me, Daddy.
Oh, he's been bad, so he needs punished, Derek.
Always.
He busts in the room and he's like, "You're grounded."
Well, guys, on the subject of touching in with some of our beardos, one of our OG beardos, the good Aaron Choi, was in Tulsa last week with Aladdin the show. And the three of us got to go see it on Friday night, and it was awesome.
It was fantastic.
It was wonderful, except for Iago.
Oh my god,
He kept
that character.
So much groveling.
So
much groveling.
No, really. Like, the energy was high from everyone. Like, it was just so much going on the whole time. It was bright and colorful and fun, and it was really, really great. I loved it.
And as the personification of a parrot, Aaron nailed it.
Truthfully,
though, Gilbert Gottfried would be proud.
So proud.
I was very pleasantly surprised. It was a really good show because I never obsessed over Aladdin, but I really, really enjoyed that performance. So
I did.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt about it too.
And I enjoyed staring at Kasim's chest.
Yeah, Kasim, that was pretty cool. I like what you got going on. Yeah, I was reading the program and I was reading about the actor who plays him, and it said his wife, and I was like, God damn it.
We were reading over that while I was sweating at intermission because I think to have their lights work there, they had to cut the AC back.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did.
Probably.
I was just like, this is a great show.
I couldn't imagine it because I was wearing shorty shorts and like a short sleeve shirt, and I was sweating, and I can't imagine what those actors were dealing with.
Well, with all that hair, all
the moving,
and
the costumes.
And then on top of that, not only are you in costume dancing, you're also singing, which just takes an extraordinary amount of control to sing and dance that aggressively. It's not even like cute little wobbling. It's like dancing.
You know, on that note, I think Genie was most impressive to me because he's also a bigger guy, and he is on that stage moving his ass, making it work, and delivering
just giving 1,000% the whole time
musical numbers.
And I think that was what impressed me so much about the show, was watching him bounce around like he was. He had so much movement. He was a larger man, and he kept perfect tone, perfect singing the entire time. And I was sitting up there like, I've never been that great a shape in my life.
Seriously.
He's got to be like doing cardio, but also like, you know,
eating lots of burgers.
Yeah.
Great job, though.
Well, I'm doing one of those things.
Yeah, I've got half that diet
yesterday
down.
For 10 minutes.
I take like 15-minute walks right now with the dog, so.
But yeah, guys, if Aladdin is in a town near you or in your town anytime soon, definitely go and check it out because it was a really great show.
Yeah, fantastic.
And sync up with Aaron because he's a great guy.
Yes.
Well, one more thing before we get to sundries. Jay, is it true that you have a new member of your household?
I do have a new member of my household. As of 3 days ago, I have gained an additional member.
Oh, I'm so excited. You hear how he got up? It's the horrors of age.
Oh.
And we can all welcome.
Look at him.
We can all welcome little Reginald.
Hello, Reginald. You are the most perfect doggo.
Who is a little Frenchie. Technically, they say a Frenchie mix, but he's very heavy Frenchie, so.
Look at that stupid face. I love him.
Oh my gosh. He's so sweet.
He's so wiggly.
He's so wiggly. He's so smart, but he's so energetic.
Well, yeah.
Aww. Look at him.
What a cutie.
And he's learning lots of things right now, like let's not jump on the couch and pummel me without approval. And let's not chase the kitties. And let's make sure we don't poop in the house, which he's pretty well trained, but we had an anxiety day, so.
Well, yeah,
how are the cats doing?
They hate him.
Of course they do.
Of course, yeah.
But they hate every dog, so in due time.
That's not true. They kind of like Jake, but that was because Jake was super chill.
Yeah.
So when we introduced the cats to Jake, when they first moved in, because we had Jake first, it took weeks. And they hated him. And then finally, I think he chased him once, and Merlin turned around and smacked him. Never had a problem. So
bap, bap, bap.
I was looking at Reggie, and I said, you can't chase the cats, which I'm trying to train him on my own. But I was like, there's going to be a day that one of them turns around and smacks you. And that's your day.
You're going to learn today.
I'm not going to pity you.
So cute.
He's such a cutie.
Cute.
Well, congratulations,
very
Jay.
Well, thank
on your new addition. I can't wait to come steal him.
I will kill you.
He's going to John Wick your ass.
I know. I believe it this time. Most of the time he says he's going to kill me. I wouldn't believe it, but I believe it this go around.
As much as I'm fucking working on training, because I am like hardcore this time, sitting here going, these are rules. I will kill anyone who tries to steal them because this is a lot of work.
I'll wait till you're done training him then.
I'll double kill you.
That's good. That's good. So I'll break the ice here and we'll dive right in. This episode topic sort of came up due to the fact that I have reached a milestone in my life, Beardos, and I'm sorry if you sexualize me in any way, shape, or form, and this ruins it for you, but I've got my first hemorrhoid.
Hemorrhoid!
Welcome!
Hemorrhoid.
Oh, so proud of you. I got them forever ago.
Very annoying. I don't like it.
Yeah, they are very annoying.
It's absolutely terrifying, too, when you're just like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to wipe now. And then you're like, ah!
Yeah.
So it's not so bad. Like I have at least enough comparison based off of other events that have happened in my life that I know mine is not nearly as bad as it could be. But I am just, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of irritated that it's happening.
Literally.
Yeah. They are irritating.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then I got to sit on it all day.
Earlier in the group chat, Anthony said the cherry on top of the topic, and all I could think of was the blood clot that I pooped out during my hemorrhoid looked just like a cherry.
That
That was a cherry on top of my cake for sure.
God.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was the comparison. I wasn't going to like bring it up unless you brought it up.
Yeah, you like that shit? Yeah.
That kind of plays on my adult problem is your need for fiber intake. Or proper water intake and things like that, because my fiber issue was how I originally got hemorrhoids, is because apparently I grew up with fiber problems. I didn't really know that.
Mine may have originated a little differently than that. But
what?
Yeah.
Shit happens. Unintended.
And it hurts so bad.
Well,
No,
I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm sorry you're old and that's something scary to think about.
Well, I mean, it's just scary to deal with every day. The horrors of reality. The horrors of being a whore.
Tisk tisk.
Well, Anthony, now that we've already talked about our first topic, would you like to ask me where to find sundries?
Oh, shit. I forgot about that. So, Joe, can I find what's a supplement that's good for memory loss?
Hemorrhoid cream's pretty good for you right now.
Oh, okay. Fine, I'll go with that one. Well, Joe, can I find hemorrhoid cream in the sundries aisle?
Oh boy, you've truly got your finger on the pulse, or shall I say in the pulse. But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, these days, it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as three gay men with beards who are certainly bumbling through adult life, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
If you're listening to the pod and not watching it, I am currently applying hemorrhoid cream on camera.
And this is where you separate the cheeks.
And there go the YouTube views. All right.
Literally.
Well, all right. So then what is another adult horror that we've been dealing with? I mean, besides all of them.
God, I mean, the election coming up, that is terrifying to me right now.
Oh, God.
I actively stress about it, and I don't even try to. I'm not even just thinking about it. It just pops up in my day-to-day life.
I can't decide if I'm more worried or more calm about Trump being such a frontrunner for the Republican Party, because I don't know if, like, he'll be as so much of a joke that he won't win.
Well, that's exactly what we thought in 2016. Remember?
Exactly. And that's why I keep going back and forth on it as to whether I'm worried or not about it. Because he's so far out in front of everybody else.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely the Republican frontrunner, and everybody's put their fucking hat in his ring.
It just baffles me.
I know. It's kind of like what's going on right now with the McCarthy and them trying to oust him for, you know.
They did.
Oh, did they? Did that actually go through?
The seat is vacant right now.
Well,
oh, it did go through?
It went through. The seat is vacant.
Okay. We're recording this on Tuesday, so we're finding out about this in real time. Like, I read about it on lunch today, and it hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, it had just happened, I think, a couple hours ago, if I recall. But I know that as of this Tuesday, October 3rd, it's vacant.
Yeah, I read about it yesterday. But the whole thing is that they wanted to oust him for compromising on the budget bill to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
to avoid a government shutdown.
Yeah, and to avoid government programs from stopping things like WIC.
Food stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder how long the stopgap bill is going to cover the government, because it's 45 days they have to prevent another one?
And last I saw, McCarthy's not going to try again, because technically he was ousted, but he can also try to be speaker again, and he said he won't.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't even want to deal with that group of people, because at this point, if you do anything that isn't Donald Trump, everybody cannibalizes you. And it's a perfect example of that with McCarthy, because the reason why they didn't want, basically between funding for Ukraine and I can't remember what the other thing was. That's the whole issue that the Republicans wanted to oust him for.
Yeah. Well, I think they should just replace him with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, I agree with that.
Sean Spicer.
Yeah. We could do recast.
Recast government edition.
Government.
How much time you got?
I picked the top 7 contenders, and you have to recast them.
And I'm going to recast Dianne Feinstein as the skeleton from Scary Movie 2.
Speaking of her, did you see that Did you see that they appointed a African American lesbian in her place?
I did see that. Thank God.
We'll see.
Yeah, who actively works to get more women in government positions, which I'm all for, because underrepresented people need to be represented more to help dig out those inadequacies and inequities in public policy.
1,000%, yes.
It's annoying how much I want to ignore politics, but I can't, because they all impact my life. And it's funny when people ask me why I lean so Democratic nowadays, even though I'm independent. And I'm like, I need you to understand that when I'm voting for one party that wants to help me and one party that wants to lynch me. So.
Right.
Yeah. It's not just a matter of opinion. It's literally, I have to avoid getting murdered legally.
It's like explaining to people why I don't eat Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
It's funny because my grandma brought this up on Sunday when I went and visited her, and she was talking about how my niece is so political, my 17, soon to be 18-year-old niece. And I just had to explain, look, it's more ingrained in our cultures because we deal with it more directly. It affects us more than it did when you or your kids were growing up. It's not just public policy as a matter of tax bills. It's a matter of life and death so much of the time. But I mean, it's not that the issues weren't existent in that time. Obviously we had extremely bad problems.
We just have more access to them.
We have more access to it, and we get to see it more often. But it is funny to think of people who bring up and defend family values as traditional family values as some weird holy grail thing, when I'm just you remember when they used that to protest integration and interracial marriage? You remember that?
Oh yeah.
That? It's not the sanctimonious pulpit you think it is.
Yeah. Also, you remember how it's super religious focused to be a Republican? You're very, very, very religious, yet you don't follow any Bible recommendations. You do not help the poor. You do not.
Listen, Jay, I want prayer in school, but no free lunches.
Don't you dare fucking help those kids. If their parents couldn't afford it, they shouldn't have had them, but we were going to make them have them because they shouldn't have been slutting around, so...
I'm just laughing at Eat This Bible because all I can think of is Starvin' Marvin from South Park.
Yeah. No. We don't eat the Bible.
And isn't that a perfect representation of Christian evangelicalism?
Which, how fucked up is it how old that episode is, and that's how those episodes are still so relevant. It's funny, but it's also sad.
Yeah.
The horrors of reality.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Well, and then to get out of politics, I mean, fuck. There's so many horror. Excuse me.
I just heard one of them.
So many.
One of them is indigestion.
Horrors.
Oh, that's true, actually.
Why do you think I'm on prescription?
I used to keep my antacid. Now that I work at the office, I had to take my antacid pills off of my desk here and put them on my desk there.
Oh, there's a resolution to that, and you have a bottle at home and at work.
Oh, I've got a bottle in the bathroom that is here too. I keep 2 bottles, Jay.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I went to my doctor and said, "Hi, I have a problem," and then they prescribed me one, so I don't need it anywhere because I take a big pill daily.
My doctor said that I should take Zantac twice a day, and then they were like, Zantac may cause cancer, so maybe not.
Hey, take this, but Zantac will kill you, so don't take this, but take it.
Now, I take something like the acid reducer from Costco, and it's once a day, and I'm solid. And I don't have to take it every day because I don't always have an issue.
Nice. Yeah, mine. So my cardiologist, more old people problems. My cardiologist was like, "Well, I don't know if you need to be on that medication, so let's do a scope to see if it's really necessary." So we did a scope, and whenever I went to that doctor, he was like, "You're too young to have these issues, but we'll do it because your doctor requested it." Then they did the scope, and he's like, "Okay, so you have damage, and you need to continue that medication." And I was like,
you telling me that you have yet another loose sphincter?
Somewhere, yeah. It's right where my stomach is.
Somewhere.
God.
Yeah. So
think about the stress. Does it stress you guys to go to your regular doctor's appointments? Because it stresses me.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, I get so stressed for my any appointment. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I'm gonna have all the problems.
I'm just sitting there waiting for my blood pressure numbers to come back astronomically high and be like, no, let me do it again. I was stressed.
Because I get stressed taking my blood pressure.
I genuinely walk into my PCP and I'm like, I'm so glad it's just you because you're not going to find anything new. I've already go to every doctor. And so he just runs through the notes and he goes, well, your oncologist says everything looks great. Your urologist says that you're not drinking enough water. Your cardiologist says.
Damn. It's like a roast every time.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so you're summarizing everything. Thank you. Just what I needed.
and then I his notes, he's wrote possibly gay ?
Which I have that in my notes too, because I remember my last doctor before she left, she was like, do we need to talk about safe sex? And I was like, I think I'm okay, but thank you.
I mean, it's in all of our charts because what's in our charts because we're on prep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I hand over my piece of paper and I'm like, this is what my psychiatrist says. Stick this in my notes.
It's that also is something that's
file this in there too. Thanks.
I just got a refill of my psychiatry meds and they have my PCP's name on them as the prescriber. So I think I'm getting double prescribed my psychiatry meds.
So one of my medications that a doctor prescribed me, that doctor I'm no longer with, but my PCP can renew it. So his name's on it, even though he's not the one that gave it to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out is did he refill all of my scripts this last go around? And I don't know. It's neither here nor there. At least I've got them. They should be good for the rest of the year anyways. So
I love our adult conversations. It feels so real.
Yeah, this is what we talk about.
Real titillating stuff here on the pod this week, gentlemen.
You guys, this is what we just talk about in our free time. This is the real conversation of the Beards and Sundries market.
Well, next we can talk about like the amortization schedule on our mortgages. I mean,
I don't even want to think about it. The front-loaded interest.
Do you guys want to talk about daily, weekly, bi-monthly, quarterly compound interest? That's exciting.
Oh, God. No, not really. It's not exciting.
One thing I do not have any interest in is interest. Okay? Let's just get that straight.
Okay.
What a true
now that I'm getting older, I'm like starting to really look at that kind of stuff more, and I'm like, a lot of money goes towards interest on loans, even with low interest.
Yep.
Listen, you have to learn how to play the system because it was never, ever in our favor.
And so now I'm getting really aggressive about being like, first, you need to combine these loans on a cheaper interest, and you need to pay this off faster, and you need to just stop financing things. And so then, like, adulting sucks.
So with the rapidly increasing cost of everything and the stagnancy of wages, it causes more people to purchase more things on credit, which means that, let's say, Joe Blow down the street can't afford to pay their electric bill. So they put it on credit, and it was $200. Now it's $225. And that bank just gets that $25.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a fucking racket.
Yep.
And then,
so if you keep the cost of goods high and wages down, people will purchase on credit, and everyone will have to pay you extra money for free.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the thing. I like started digging through what interest I'm paying on other things, car loans, mortgage, all that. And I was just like, I don't like this.
Nope.
I feel like I'm not making any progress on my credit card.
It's just how anyways.
Yeah, I open my paycheck and I'm like, oh, well, that's all gone already. And then some.
I've been getting really aggressive with that stuff more.
I'm trying to, but there's nothing to get aggressive with.
True.
I'm bringing a cup of water to a towering inferno.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's why, like, we really need to go the route that you did and do some debt consolidation just to make things
We've
easier
got to do
and
something.
have a lower payment. So
Yeah, just to get on lower payment, lower interest, it helps. And plus, as long as you're not just like jumping back in and putting more money on it, you're just like, oh, okay, yeah.
No. Yeah.
And I have set it up now to where I divide my paycheck out. And so one bank receives money. I auto separate it through my paycheck at work. So one bank gets all the money that just auto withdraws my bills. And then the other bank is now my spending bank. And so that way cool. I never have to fret about, did I spend too much? Like, am I going to have to pull out a savings? Yeah. Like what's in here is what's in here. And if you can't spend more than that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's a little bit more of my way to control it now.
Yeah. The horrors of adulting.
Well, and then on top of that, to like my electric bill, since it ranges from $60 one month to $200 in midsummer, I set it up to be like averaging $150, so that way I technically always have a little bit of extra money in there.
Yeah, that would make sense. They do. Who do you guys have for electric in OKC?
OGE.
Oh, okay. We have PSO,
which they'll do average, but I really love that cheap month. But now that I guess I could technically average it now that I'm doing it this way.
Yeah, they've got the average option, but I don't know. I don't go with it because the way they changed their rates the past 2 summers, they've raised their rates right before summer hit.
Of course.
Yep.
Well, just like ONG, which our gas company is.
Yeah.
I mean, we have ONG too.
Yeah.
I'm average billed. I'm on average, and still, I think my bill shot up $20 since that last massive ice storm that they had to increase everything.
Jesus. I love how we pay them money and they're like, well,
for crumbling infrastructure.
We can't upgrade our infrastructure without cutting into our profits, so you're going to have to pay for that too.
That is the part that kills me with capitalism. Like, hey, we have to take more money from you because
we can't cut our
make our
profits.
stockholders lose money because then they don't want to buy us. And I'm like, so I'm always the loser.
I thought that this episode would be like campy horror, like fun, hokey topics, and we really went straight up grim wet salad.
Yeah, but it's so real. Like, it's actual horrors we live every day in society.
I'm experiencing the horrors.
And this is
currently.
way scarier than that half-wilted bag of spinach I had to throw out yesterday.
Oh, we didn't use the rest of it?
No.
Oh, damn it. If I'd thought about it, I would have put it in that sauce.
Well, if anything, that's another topic. Food waste. How easy it is to waste food.
So easy.
Okay. Luckily, Anthony and I are both people that will eat leftovers, and
Yes.
we're pretty good about it. So at least there's that. I know people that they're like, I can't do leftovers. I don't like them. I just leave half the plate here on the restaurant. I'm like, oh my God,
Nope.
take it home to the dog at least. Like, do something with it.
So I used to be that way with leftovers. I would make stuff and then I wouldn't eat it. I'm like, I just don't like it. And then I really started making myself be like, stop fucking wasting food. That's so much money wasted. So,
Yep. I think
At least you were taking the step of making the leftovers and then just not eating them. At least you were making the effort to have leftovers. I'm talking about people who will leave an entire almost fully eaten meal on the restaurant table, or they will let an entire container or something go bad in their fridge that they've purchased at the supermarket and then just throw it away. That stuff drives me insane because it is so wasteful, it's so expensive, and there's so much hunger and starvation in the world and the USA that it shouldn't be happening anyway. But unfortunately, food waste is a huge problem in this country.
Well, we also have to take into account that those people aren't really the problem, so much as it's one guy who could any day start putting in place the infrastructure for solving world hunger because he's got the money, but he just doesn't do it.
Bruce Wayne?
and
Yeah, it's Bruce Wayne. Honestly, I wouldn't be fucking surprised if Jeff Bezos donned a fucking cape and went and fought crime thinking he was doing something good. Go fuck yourself, you bald little prick.
well, and then if there's a bunch of
I don't
guys,
have anything against bald people. I actually just have things against Jeff Bezos, and he just pisses me off, and he looks like a thumb.
Yeah,
there's
and his bald little prick.
if there's a bunch of rich guys also that have that kind of wealth, it wouldn't even take hardly anything to work together to solve problems.
No.
Which that baffles me. I just can't imagine having that kind of wealth and being like, so I'm super rich and that's it.
And
You
just
wouldn't even
never
notice. They just have so much money that it wouldn't matter at all, and they still hoard all of it. It's just, I don't get it.
That's what I was saying, is that billionaires, even just being a billionaire, having that type of money, if it is invested, you're going to perpetually be a billionaire. There's almost nothing you could do to prevent that aside from burning it all to the ground.
Yeah.
Aside from pulling a straight up Joker and putting it all in a warehouse and lighting it on fire.
I don't think I could ever be rich because whenever I start getting an influx of income, I'm like, oh, what can I do to help people? And so that's when I'm like, hey, let's go have dinner because I feel like I owe you food.
I feel that way all the time. I want to do that for people even when I don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
And that's problematic.
It just feels like when I have the influx, I'm even like more helpful. I'm willing to throw even more out. So I can imagine what I'd be like if I was rich.
You know what? Give me the influx and we'll see. I would love the influx.
Trust me, I also know how to spill the influx.
God. But I feel like it's been a very heavy episode so far, and we've got extra content for the back half of the episode. So what do you say we go ahead and split to a commercial?
I'm fine with that.
I would love to go to a commercial.
Let's do. And now for a word from our sponsor, the Head Chopper. Chop your heads of lettuce with the Head Chopper.
Has this happened to you? Political news is making me so angry. I could just chop some heads of lettuce. That's right. We're offering the all-new Head Chopper. The only chopper that does a solid, clean slice on the first drop. Why, the lettuce won't even see it coming. Here at the Head Chopper, we say, down with the patriarchy of old-fashioned hand dicing. You'll be considered a threat to that fresh head of organic artesian romaine you just purchased. Cut right through the jugular of your nerves with the Head Chopper, because it has a safety shield to protect you. So we say, let them eat cake and try the new Head Chopper today. Found at your local armory store. Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
I gotta tell you, there are not enough head choppers in this world, you know?
I would say that there's not enough heads to chop.
I mean, there are plenty of heads to be chopped.
That's what I meant.
I really like how whenever it's time to make a salad, I just feel like I don't know, the regime is broken and I have a little bit more freedom because I've chopped the head.
Yeah, I feel like you chop the head and then the green disperses. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
It's like I have a revolution of health because I just chopped the head.
Yeah.
And then we get to eat cake, too.
And it's a great example to set for other heads of lettuce and how you'll chop them.
You know, and I really appreciate this because it reminds me of my long, long history of ancestry that I am related to Marie Antoinette. And I really appreciate this device, and I keep it prominently displayed on my countertop.
Let it be known, Beardos, that Jay said, let them eat cake in private to me.
Chop, chop, chop!
So, Beardos, join the kitchen revolution today and get your head chopper.
Well, what do you guys say we bring this episode back up a little bit?
Oh,
Jay,
please,
do we have any Beardo submitted sundries this week?
We do have some Beardo submitted content, and I appreciate it because just today I received a message from our Wisconsin listener, Catherine.
Oh, hi, Catherine. Oh,
and she said,
is heating up.
Just listen to this week's episode. Tell Shanae that I just got an electric piano, so if she hears something outside her house, it's me. And besides that, I added in that we got to meet Aaron, but we talked about that at the beginning, so I can pass off on that. And I kind of want to go to our...
Just real quick before we do go off to that. Let it be known that Aaron Choi, in case you guys weren't aware, if you don't look at the show notes, Aaron Choi not only is in the show, but he has done the art for this podcast. So the opening art and the closing art that you see on the YouTube videos is done by Aaron.
And it's lovely.
It is lovely.
For the month of October, we are adding on to our user content, and we are doing more horror stories. Emphasis on horror.
Deep in the bowels of Aisle 4, when the only light is the crimson glow of the emergency exit signs, gather round the Bota Box and prepare yourself for Beards and Sundries horror stories.
So, we received one from Anonymous, and it's called Arcade Oopsie.
Let's talk about that coin slot.
So, pre-pandemic, there was a very popular cruisy adult bookstore / porn arcade in my city, downtown. And by popular, I mean popular among gays and closeted straight / married men. Back then, when I was an ultra hoe, I've downgraded to occasional hoe, I would frequent this place on my lunch breaks to cruise the businessmen from the big corporations downtown. One particular day, I had gone not really looking for much other than maybe a handy or a blowy. After being there for a bit, it seemed that I wasn't going to have any luck. But then, out of the corner of my eye, a handsome silver fox of a daddy appeared. The dull flashing screens of various porn screens illuminated his thick body, held in by a tight-fitting polo shirt and snug light khakis. We made eyes, and before I knew it, I was pulled into a larger porn booth, and I was on my knees. Needless to say, this was a super hot encounter. I was having the mouthful of a lifetime when he pulled me up and gruffly whispered in my ear to bend over. Now, having not really expected too much that day, I had not fully prepped for this occasion. But I figured I was still youngish and thought I'd had a sufficient amount of fiber recently. So as any good bottom, I soldiered on. Sex-wise, it wasn't bad. Definitely not the best, though the married dude topping me for sure was having the time of his life. After a short time, I realized that things felt a little squishier down there than normal. I could also hear that it sounded wetter than normal.
Oh.
Within no time, the big guy made a few loud grunts and let loose inside. The listeners should note that these booths are pretty dark, with only the dim glow of porn playing on the screen to illuminate the space.
The stage
As he
has
pulled
been
out,
set.
I turned around. He had exasperatedly slumped against the wall, eyes closed, obviously very pleased with himself.
Oh.
That's when I spotted it. His member was covered with a thin layer of poo. Instantly, flashes from the night before swirled in my head, and the memory of Taco Bell came full force. I watched in horror as he used his hand to wipe off what he probably thought was excess daddy juice, and proceeded to wipe it on his light-colored khakis. I quickly pulled up and zipped out of the booth, saying a fast, "See ya!" and bolting out of the arcade. Needless to say, I was back to cruising the arcade a week or so later, but from then on, I always cleaned before I went.
Talk about stirring the pot.
Talk about macaroni in a pot.
Holy crap.
Ew.
Literally. Oh my God. You know, though, like, you got to know what you're getting into in those situations. Like,
And that's
You sure didn't.
that's kind of it. Like, you don't want it to happen, obviously, but you just mentally know it's
If
possible.
tell someone to, like, bend over and they don't have any warning that this is happening, you run the risk. You just run the risk.
He's supposed to, like, yell Taco Bell and then, like, just turn around.
I mean, honestly, if I were Polo Daddy and I walked out of there and I saw the situation, I would have just called work and been like, "Hey, taking off the rest of the day," and then gone home before my wife got home and gotten cleaned up and thrown the clothes in the wash.
Could you imagine? He's like, "All right, heading back to my business meeting," and then he's like, they're in the meeting. They're like, "What's wrong?" "Oh, I had a chocolate bar at lunch."
Oh, it smells like shit.
Yeah, it's organic chocolate.
Jay's across the conference table, like, this ain't adding up. This looks familiar.
The math ain't mathin'. I've done that before. And then out of the... My God, I just realized I'm covered in dog slob. But out of the blue, I'm across the table and I'm like, "That's shit! He has shit on himself. He hooked up with a boy over lunch.
He had a poopy sloopy on lunch."
Oh, you gonna wipe it off, nerd?
Your bottom didn't clean out, loser.
The whole table just erupts in laughter. Like, it's just all the businessmen that were at the arcade at lunch, but they knew what they were getting into. Like,
Could you imagine?
First sloopy poopy.
And the women are like, "Ha ha ha, his wife probably doesn't know. Ha ha ha. That's why he didn't come onto my advances. Ha ha ha."
I feel like it's like the Barbie movie, though. Like, no women.
Oh, that's
all
a
around
really
the
good
table.
point.
They all stand up. They're like,
drawing.
You got a poopy sloopy too? Me too.
I poopy sloopied last night.
Oh my God. This has got to be a t-shirt where it's just like a guy's like hand wiping it on his slacks, and it's just it's black and white, so you don't get to see the color, but you get to see like he's wiping something on there, and it says poopy sloopy underneath.
So everyone, if you have a horror story to add to next week, please submit it in whatever fashion you would prefer. beardsandsundries@gmail.com is my easiest to keep track of, but I also look at all of our socials and our instant messaging there. So please send us your stories. We'd like to add them. You can tell us your name. You can tell us to keep it anonymous. We'll do whatever. We just want to read them. Or leave voicemail.
Ooh,
Yes.
that'd be fun.
At 405-999-2242.
So scary.
Spooky
Ooh.
voicemail.
Joe, did you say that we had a user content from your mom?
We do.
Hi,
she
Mom.
weighed in again this week.
Hi, Mom.
And she said, just saw the latest episode, and then this is in reference to her submitted Fuck, Marry, Kill. So here's hers.
Yay.
She said, I have been married to marijuana longer than Dad, and that's been 54 years as of this past Wednesday, October 5th. They celebrated 54
What a
years of marriage.
Your dad or marijuana?
Yeah, both.
My parents.
Oh. I was just checking to make sure that she was saying 54 years married to
Can
your
you
dad.
imagine?
not
No,
marijuana.
She was like,
No,
yeah, I'm keeping
she's
track.
been married to marijuana longer than Dad, so longer than 54 years.
Yeah. Wow. Good job.
All right, and then it says, I've been divorced after 32 years from nicotine. I quit 25 years ago last month, so I'd kill nicotine.
Good for her.
And then she
Nice,
said,
congrats.
I've got to confess, I fuck alcohol. That's kind of what it's good for, right?
Good point. Yeah.
And then onto the episode itself, she said, now for my fears as a child. You Oklahoma folks will love this. I used to have tornado nightmares and lots of them. Glad I finally outgrew them by age 12. During the mid-50s, in summer, our moms told us to stay out of puddles and public pools or we'd get polio. And we also had H-bomb drills. Hide under your desk, cover your head, and kiss your ass goodbye. I don't know about other school desks,
Yep.
but ours were woefully inadequate for a hydrogen bomb. See, we had lots to fear in the 50s. It's a miracle Dad and I survived our childhoods.
You know, that's true. That's real
That-
true.
It is interesting how we feared sillier things for the most part, and they definitely had like legit fears.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we had legit fears, but
True.
we didn't like have
We were-
to.
Kind of more
Well-
aware of them.
I think we went the
This is-
sillier route last episode. This episode has been very serious.
Well, and I also kind of break it down by, for example, the 1940s were a completely different time than now.
Way different.
When we're in war now, the only reason we know about it is because they talked about it on the news. In the 40s, when we were in war, you were asked to drive certain speed limits to conserve rubber. You were asked to conserve fuel. The entire nation was taking strict efforts to benefit the boys across seas.
It's the whole
And we
reason that Velveeta
do
exists.
nothing different. We were in the Iraq War for how long? And what did we do? What did we do different in our lives?
I love that we went to war with Iraq because of terrorists in Iran.
Hey, you know,
We paid more for gasoline, but didn't change our driving habits or vehicles.
Yeah, I just paid more for things. That's all I
Yep.
did.
Yep.
And so that's where I kind of definitely differ, where in that era, we were still seeing things across the country that everyone felt, when nowadays, you don't really feel it like that.
And that's a really good point, because an advantage that our generation has over that is that if I really wanted to, and if I really wanted to, I could cut myself off of like social medias. I could delete all the news apps on my phone. I could spend an entire day from morning to evening and almost never encounter news if I delete the things where I could actually see it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be present in my life otherwise.
Yeah. Back then, it was like painted on walls and
Yeah.
posters on how to live.
You couldn't leave the
to
house
help
without seeing
across
it.
seas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was your only conversation. Like, yeah. My grandma told me, she goes, yeah, we used to ride our horses so we wouldn't use the car.
My grandma used to sleep on a rock.
My grandma used to wear flour bags as clothing.
My grandma couldn't wear clothing.
Because during the 1940s, people sold flour in cloth bags so you could make clothing out of it.
No, that is a fun
30s and
story that
40s.
my great grandma used to tell me, though, is like she had to sleep outside and use a rock as a pillow.
Jesus.
I know. I don't know if that's true or not. My great grandma had a tendency to exaggerate.
I mean, my mom did talk about how before they had indoor plumbing, they used an outhouse, but they lived out in the middle of nowhere and it was an old house.
So my great grandma lived in California for a while and then moved back this way.
Oh, well, California rocks are cozy.
No, that's it for Mom this week. Thank you very much, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. We went down a lot of rabbit holes today.
Does anyone have something to check out this week?
I have one this week. Now, gentlemen and beardos who are watching on YouTube, you may notice that my beard has finally gotten a little bit more straight than it usually is. It's been a lot more curly. I have finally found a tool that has helped me achieve straight beard. And
boo, straight. Boo.
Is this tool right here. This was provided to me by our hairdresser, and it is a company that it's probably, you could probably just look for it online. It's called Fulllight Tech. And this is model number ZRW002. And what this is it is a beard heat straightening comb. And you just plug it into the wall, and there are 3 heat settings on there. I use the middle setting, and once it's heated up in about 5 minutes, there are heating elements in between these bristles. And what you do is you just slowly brush through, and it gets hot, but not hot enough that you can't pull your beard through it like this. And I just do long, hot strokes through my beard, sickos.
Long, hot strokes.
And you just treat it like a normal beard comb, and it uses heat, and it straightens out all of the beard. And the final look makes it easy to trim up the final shape with clippers at the end. And that's how I have finally achieved the straight beard hair that I've been looking for.
Also, word of advice, always use a beard hair comb, or, well, a hot beard comb, prior to adding product to your beard. You will burn that product and it ruins your beard.
Yes.
You should consider putting beard oil in first and then using the comb.
Try gasoline.
For a truly combustible experience.
Reverting back to last week's episode.
I got to tell you, though, when Joe came out and showed me his beard after using it, I was like, whoa. Your
I was like,
beard
finally, I found something that works.
It's long, but it's also, beardos, if you're listening to this, fantastic. But you should also maybe go check this part of the episode out on YouTube at some point.
It is indeed
beard.
something to check out.
Because it's weird. Anthony's having sex right now. Oh my God, your chair's not squeaking.
You hear the squeak?
I don't hear it.
Wait, hang on. There
Oh, there it is.
It's not. It's
Well,
not.
that's it. I have to kill you.
It's not metal creak. It's not like metal squeaking. It's wood creaking, and that's the issue.
So I left WD-40 at your house for no reason?
Yeah, you brought it for no reason. I already had WD-40 that I used.
Yeah, well, it didn't sound like it.
Your stupid little joke cost you WD-40.
It did. Thank God I have like 8 bottles, but still. You took my nice one. I should have brought the one with the plastic straw.
Yeah, you should have, but instead you didn't. And now
I was an idiot,
forever.
and I grabbed my nicer bottle. So fuck you.
And you know what I'm going to do with it? You know what I'm going to do with it, Jay? I'm going to throw it away.
I hope you need a lot of things
I'm not even going to use it because I already have that exact bottle. I bought it to lubricate this chair. And I'm going to throw yours away, and I'm going to say, fuck you, Jay. Anyways, that's a great something to check out. If you want your beard to be straight and not gay, well, finally, there's a solution for you.
And I don't have a promo code to save you any % off because this was not sponsored.
Use promo code BEARDS20 to save absolutely no dollars off your purchase.
To be told that is not a usable code. We should start doing that. Get on Amazon and buy this product. Use code Beards and Sundries to get no discounts.
To get absolutely no dollars off.
To get a message that clearly says this is not an
not a valid promo code.
Valid promo code. That's what it is. I was like,
You're
applicable.
Well,
applicable.
Do you guys think it's time for a game?
Yes.
Not so fast, Anthony.
Oh, no.
I've got one quick thing for us to check out before game time. Gentlemen, I would like you to consult your cellular devices at this time.
Oh?
And tell me what you see, courtesy of a picture that I just sent both of you.
There is a text message in the group chat, and oh no, listeners, let me describe this. If you listened to a few episodes ago on Judgy J, we had a court case about Anthony and dishes in the sink, and right now I am looking at a picture of a ramekin with, is that ketchup or salsa?
No, it's salsa.
It
is
salsa,
a ramekin.
Which out of the two of us, Anthony, which of the two of us eats salsa?
It's Joe. I notoriously don't like spicy food.
It is a ramekin of salsa that is still dirty with no water soaking in it, sitting
Anthony,
next to the sink.
Real quick, will you tell me what the timestamp on that picture says?
Oh no, Anthony!
Sunday,
what does it say?
11:25 p.m.
Oh, as in this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Aren't you still on probation for that?
I don't know.
Here's one more to make sure that you know that it was me who took the picture.
Fuck off! Fuck all the way off!
I can't wait for the next picture to be Joe holding a newspaper dated.
You know, Beardos, I thought I wouldn't be petty about this whole thing, and that I wouldn't take pictures of all the things that Joe puts in the sink without putting water in it, because I was trying to take the high ground, and let this be a fucking lesson for all of us. Taking the high ground never works. Never.
Joe wasn't on trial for this.
Well, he's about to fucking be, because I'm about to get a lot of videographic evidence of the fact that he doesn't do it either. And he's complaining about something that he doesn't do.
Deflecting, Your Honor. Deflecting.
We're not on trial right now. We're talking to regular Jay.
Let me put on my little doily.
No, keep your fucking doily off.
And all of a sudden it just cuts to an episode of Judgy J. And I'm like, still pulling myself together.
Fuck all the way off, Ruth Bader Lamesburg.
So yes, I do believe it is now game time.
Oh, it is game time, and Anthony is our game. No, I'm kidding.
I wish I had rigged the game.
Maybe I'll win this time if we're making Anthony
now for a game I'm
Joe.
calling, Joe can't win. Because this is a game I'm calling, How Do Adult? So in the spirit of this episode, I am going to read you both a series of questions that modern adults need to know to navigate life. The first to answer gets a point. You each have
cursive
3 guesses. No, it's not on here, I promise. And yeah, there are 13 questions because it's spooky month, and so I'm picking 13 instead of 15.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it saved me from researching 2 more questions.
And you said 13 questions and 3 guesses apiece, and these are things that every adult should know?
Things that modern adults need to know to navigate life.
Y equals mx plus b.
Right.
No, need to know.
Oh.
Bullshit.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse
well,
of the
yeah,
cell.
I did say need to know.
There we go.
I win.
Perfect. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Question 1. How often should you change the oil in your car?
Every 3,000 miles.
No. Is it every 5 or 10,000
Every 5,000 miles.
So Jay gets this one. It is every 5 to 7,500 miles.
Because modern cars
New cars
now
are
are
7,500.
10,000. Yes. So
they're up to 10
the
now?
fuel
Mine's
injection
10.
systems With the upgrades in fuel injection technology, you actually can go generally 5 to 7,500 miles, or up to 15,000 miles if you use fully synthetic oil.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of a trick because it's like it depends on who you talk to.
It is a little bit of a trick, but that is a point for Jay.
Is this going to be like 13 questions that are the final question and actually?
I mean, it sort of is, actually.
Yeah.
These are real life skills. So, question number 2. How much laundry detergent should you use in a regular load of laundry, which is about 8
Only up
pounds?
to the first line.
Is it like 4 ounces or 3 ounces?
No.
Oh. Because, I mean...
The first line is actually... So, depends on the first line of the cup. I mean, every cup would vary. This is an actual measurable liquid amount.
Are we doing efficient washers or not?
Efficient washers are fine.
Okay.
High efficiency liquid, very little.
How much?
Is it 6 ounces?
2 ounces.
You guys are getting close. I'm tempted to give it to... You said an ounce, Jay?
What?
Did you say an ounce earlier, or did you say 4 ounces?
I said 4 or 5 ounces. Or 3 or 4. I don't remember.
And then I said 2.
Hang on. Let me look.
I've never weighed it before. I just will go up
I
to
know. I was just
little,
like, my
like
machine tells me the line, and I don't even go to the line because
all I know is
that you
that
don't need to go
with
to
a
the
high
line.
efficiency machine, you should never use a full entire cup because you're going to gunk up your washer.
So you said 2 ounces, Joe, or you say 1 ounce?
I said 2 ounces.
Is it 1.5? Is that what it is?
No. And you've had 3 guesses, Jay.
Yes.
Well, I said the
I
first
forgot
line,
Joe hasn't finished his.
and then I said 2 ounces. And those are both incorrect.
What was your first one? First line? Yeah, no.
Just the first line. I know it's like not even a half inch. Oh gosh. Let's say 3 ounces.
It is a tablespoon.
What?
The recommended amount is a tablespoon. 2 at most.
Oh man, I'm still using too much because I'm filling the cup up to like
I know,
a centimeter.
Me too. Listen, I did this research and I was like, wow, I need to stop using that much laundry detergent.
It just feels like it's not going to do anything, but I guess it is high efficiency for a reason.
That's the funny part is, hey, wait a minute. The right amount is typically 1.5 ounces for a normal load of laundry, according to Consumer Reports.
I was looking at... Don't give me that fucking weird eye thing you do.
Dollhouse Monthly? What were you looking at, Anthony?
No, I was looking at American Home Shield.
Oh. That's so weird, though, because, like, you know when you're shopping and you see the bottles of laundry detergent, it says, like, 180 loads, and I'm like, that is way more than 180 tablespoons.
Whatever. I'm counting this one for me because fuck you both. Number 3. And Jay, if you want to bring this up in Judgy Jay, you can, but you will either be sans a prosecutor or sans a defendant.
He brings up everything in Judgy J, just without the doily.
That's fucking true. Anyways, number 3.
I'm playing right now.
How often should you wash your bed sheets?
Is it once a week?
Once a week.
So Jay got that one. The rule of thumb is 2 weeks at most, generally once a week.
I was like, I heard preferably once a week, 2 weeks max.
2 weeks max. Yep. But most people once a week because of like pet dander and detritus and things like that.
And I even feel like with like cats, once a week is not enough. But
Jay,
I've
got a really good feeling about you winning this game because you are a daddy and you know a lot about home maintenance.
It is
well,
weird.
so it's not all home maintenance. So just FYI.
Oh. Okay.
For example, question number 4. Does filing an extension for your taxes delay the payment due date?
Yes.
No.
Because people extend it intentionally to delay the due date.
So no. if you file an extension for your tax, so Joe gets this one by default because it's 50-50 chance.
I'll take it.
But no, if you file an extension for your taxes, you still owe the amount due, and they can charge you interest for that time.
Fucking criminals.
Number 5. How often should you change your home air filters?
6 months.
Every 3 months.
Joe's correct. Every 3 months or 90 days.
It depends on which kind you buy, though.
Which is wild. I can't remember the last time we changed ours.
The standard home air filters you should change every 90 days or 3 months.
That is just
Is
not
this
what
whole
I'm taught
game
on
going to be
anything.
you and your fucking Google searches?
It's just everything I know is wrong. A 3-inch pleated air filter should be changed every... A 2-inch pleated air filter should be swapped out every 3 months. A 3-inch pleated air filter should be changed out every 120 days. A 4-inch pleated air filter should be exchanged every 6 months. A 5 or 6 is 9 to 12 months.
Oh my god. I want to cancel this whole entire game. Joe wins. Because
Damn.
I'm tired of the technicalities.
I was like, there's a lot of technicalities to this one. I could be right or wrong.
If you
depending on
shut the
scenario.
fuck up, there are... Good God. Okay. So going forward, we're
gonna leave
assuming a
this Google
standard
open.
amount of time. Fuck you. Okay, anyways, number 6. How often should you get your teeth cleaned professionally?
Every 6
Allegedly
months.
6 months.
Well, Joe got it because he didn't have a bad fucking attitude and it didn't take him forever to answer the question.
Well, I didn't know your rules. Is this special teeth or...
I have special
and Jay,
teeth, and I get them
Jay, to
cleaned every
support
6
you a
months.
little bit, to support you a little bit, Jay, I was on 3-month cleanings for a little while.
I was on
after
4-month cleanings, but
after a
that was a
couple things.
special circumstance.
Right.
Oh my god!
You want to Google that, Jay, real quick?
No, because I already know
the
the answer to this one.
Yeah. Okay. Jay, prepare to get your Google ready. At what age should you get your first prostate exam?
40, isn't it?
35? 25?
50.
30?
Jay is right, incidentally. It is 50 is the recommended age.
Not until
With-
50? That seems
With
late.
45 if you have a history of prostate issues in your family.
That seems late, weirdly.
Jay, do you want to look it up?
Well,
Even though you're right.
Why is it so late?
so I guess technically they say the reason I said 40 is because they said at 40 is when you should really start discussing it with your doctor, especially if you have cancer in your past. So me, obviously 40 is going to be
Right. If you have a history of issues in your family, you should at least get started getting it checked at 45.
it's only technicality.
Anthony, what
I
did you
wish-
expect, honestly?
I wish one of you would have made this game and actually taken the fucking time to do this. I'm so sad that I did
I
the
am
research
behaving
and put effort into
amazingly.
this.
I'm being
And-
a bitch.
All I'm getting is fucking Jay with his little...
I don't know what you expected, Anthony.
I know.
Yeah,
I
you know I have to fight my technicalities.
Number 8. Ugh.
Wrong.
How often should you have your tires rotated?
Okay,
Every
so
time you get your
I'm
oil
about to hit
changed.
40,000 miles, and it says 40,000 miles. Is that accurate?
It's every 5 to 7,500.
Oh,
miles.
rotated.
You should
I'm
have
thinking
your
of changing
tires
tires.
I
rotated.
said every time you
And
get your
I'm
oil
giving
changed.
it to Joe because I also have usually with your oil change.
Nope, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that's always been rule of thumb with me. Is they always rotate my tires when they change my oil.
God, I hope you fucking lose this game.
My brain immediately went to changing them because in December it's time for me to change them.
I hate number 9. I put a gimme in
And-
here for you, Jay, because I finally wanted you to win a game, but
Oh,
I'm mad that I included it now.
This is a pity game for me. Thank you.
Anyways, what were you saying, Joe? Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick for all you jokesters out there that say they rotate every time you drive. No, rotating your tires means they take the front tires and the rear tires and switch them for even wear.
It's really important.
It is very important.
I wish we would rotate our host. And by that, I mean take RJ and get rid of him and put in a Frank.
That's fine. You can run this show with him.
Jay, rotate yourself real quick.
Yeah, Jay, get out of here. Go get Reginald.
I'm bad.
God damn it. Okay, number 9. What does the abbreviation HELOC stand for?
Oh my God.
I know this one. Why is this struggling?
I know you know it because you're a daddy.
This was supposed to be a gimme for you, Jay.
I know, and that's why it's driving me nuts. Well, it's kind of like the situation the other night where I said the parrot on the Cheerio box. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to guess the first letter, and that'll be my first guess if it's right or wrong, and then I can continue if it's right. Is that okay?
I just won't say anything either way.
I'm going to guess home
equity loan of credit.
Ah.
Close.
Or home equity line of credit.
There you go.
There we go. I was like, I know what this is.
Home equity loan of credit. It was close. But
Well,
yes,
Thing
that
I never
is what-
learned because the house is in Anthony's name.
Well, so that's the thing is we don't have a HELOC. I mean, that's how most people say it, but the abbreviation is HELOC. It is home equity line of credit. Okay, number 10. What does the abbreviation CD stand for as it relates to finances?
Cash deposit?
No.
I know this too. It's driving me nuts because I know exactly what it is.
Reddit.
Is it certificate of deposit?
It is certificate of deposit. Okay, coming into number 11, the scores are J5, Joe 4, Anthony 1.
Damn.
Number 11. What color is healthy urine?
It's clear, is it?
I'll accept that. Clear to pale yellow.
Okay. I have a urologist.
I would hope you know that, Jay.
Okay, number 12. How long does a hard credit inquiry remain on your report?
12
7
months.
years? Oh, hard inquiry. Is it 2 years?
It is
3
up
years.
to 2 years. You are correct.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay,
Well, I can't
last
win now.
question. 13. Lastly, did you floss today?
I did.
No.
Point for Jay for flossing today. Good for you.
I floss after lunch.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you answered first. There was a right answer, and the answer is yes.
So
and that means, Derek, that you don't get to hear your own voice this week because Jay won a game.
And the second half of the time, I didn't have to go against technicalities. Like, they were actually answers I could win.
Yeah. You started off great and stayed great.
I want you to know, so I have an Oral-B electric toothbrush, and I, a few years ago, switched to using the flossing heads, which kind of has these rubber paddles in them. And even without actually using like floss or floss picks, switching to that immediately started getting fantastic results at the dentist. They were always just like, you've done such a great job maintaining your teeth. And so I will never switch brushing heads since then because they've done a great job. Now I just floss extra because, well, I get gaps in my teeth from these implants.
And that's today's toothbrush fact brought to you by Jay
Yay.
Rowdybush.
Well, it's kind of a combination of toothbrush and old people facts by Jay.
Beardos, what do you think about Jay? Oh, turns out they don't care much for you.
That's fine. I knew I was the least liked host on this show. It's okay.
Whatever. Anyways, Beardos, the impending doom of the Muzak has started back up, and that means that it is time to go. But
Thank God.
call our panic hotline at 405-999-2242 and leave us a panicked voicemail.
And Beardos, just like those pesky hemorrhoids, it's time for us to pop on out of here. If you would like to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any additional sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave a review. Those ratings are what help get us found by more listeners like you. And just each one of you telling a friend about the podcast would double our growth, and we would be honored if you could do that.
Guys, let me just tell you, adulting sucks. And an escape from that is visiting our website, beardsandsundries.com. You can also escape sucky adulthood and talk to us on our socials like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love you to check out all of our funny stuff we post because we're super cool. You can also email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com, and I respond ASAP. Unless I want to use it for user content.
It would be ASAL, as soon as I like.
Yeah, as soon as I want. ASAW.
Whatever.
ASIW.
IW. Yeah, you're right. Anyways.
So, from all of us adults here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to
Love yourself a whole lot this week because this was the depressing episode. I'm sorry.
Because we already love you, despite the horrors.
and stop
And
using
the
so
horse.
much laundry detergent, you sluts.
Apparently.
Just a tablespoon, damn it. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Wow.